I'm gonna give this message as best as I can. I did not get ready to get on camera, but as I was putting together the messages, just kind of hit me, because like I say, I go through things prior to the collective, and it just hit me as I was thinking about this subject, like there are some things that we should just feel into. Okay, as an empath, you feel empathetic. You don't have to be in the situation. It's what being an empath is. You can feel someone's shoes, literally, without having to walk the path, which is a lot of the times daunting in itself. For me, it's just the thought. It's literally just the thought of being in the position and you feel someone's heartache, pain, suffering. And I remember I did a reading about the masculine collective, how they were finding out that children weren't theirs and they were being cheated on and things like that. And I could literally feel what was going on. And even though I know that I would never be able to feel that a child is not mine, like in that way, finding out that a child is not mine, I could still empathize with them just because of how heartbreaking it is. Of course, because I'm the one that births the child. But even with that, anything's possible. Everything's possible. Because children have been switched at birth before. So all these things of being empathetic to someone's situation, not just sympathetic, falls into line. And just like before I went to bed, I was thinking about the children in the ICE camps, okay, or whatever that is that goes on. And a lot of times we see the suffering in the world and we like to turn a blind eye. I do turn a blind eye because it's heartbreaking to see those things going on. But if you have a platform, it doesn't matter how big of a platform, it doesn't matter how many followers you have, how many subscribers, whatever. If we were to use our platforms to speak on these subjects in any type of way, it creates the momentum for change, is what I want to say, is how I want to word that. And I remember a while ago, I got a channel message about 144,000. And prior to that, I saw a video, and everyone always equates the 144,000 to something other than everything that it encompasses. And the message I got was, it takes 144,000 to shift the energy, okay? Meaning people being on the same resonance, on the same subject, on the same brainwave, thought wave, to create a significant change in the energy, okay? And I began to think about it pertaining to divine counterparts, because I got the number 288 kept presenting itself to me, and I'm like, okay, half of 288 is 144. It takes 288,000 souls, frequencies, okay, to stabilize that frequency, whatever it is everyone is generating, the idea, the empathy, okay, towards a certain situation that can change the momentum. And like I said, it doesn't matter how big a platform you are. Just me creating this video, speaking on a subject, creating the chain of events, okay, that will help someone else make the video, speaking about a cause, okay, cause and effect. The video, okay, the energy, 444, as I say this, will continue to circulate, which keeps the energy and the momentum of change going, growing, okay? Because it's the intention behind the energy Okay. The intention, what intention are you setting? What do you want to put out into the world? There's so many people who have gigantic platforms and they don't use them for a good cause. Okay. The same way people use their platform or media, whatever it is, to generate these negative things, we can generate these positive things. Like, why can't we? There's no reason why we shouldn't be able to. Okay. And going back to these ice camps or whatever it is, it's like us as adults have to take the accountability so that the children who can't make the choices, they're just innocent bystanders thrown into these situations. 555, it needs to change. We need to be the one to make the decisions so that there's no more innocent bystanders, because I was seeing and I was feeling like a mother, like, are my children going to be okay? Are you like, don't do things to my children, and like this, all these things. And I felt like it was me. I literally felt like it was me. And I'm feeling into the collective is what I feel. Doesn't matter where the feeling is coming from. It's like I feel it and I understand. I empathize with these people. And I've never said empathize so easily before, but it literally is what it is. When you can feel what someone's going through without having to go through it your own self, okay? It shows a depth of emotion and feeling for other than yourself, thinking of the greater good, okay? And I kept hearing Whitney Houston's song, The Children Are Our Future. And I remember my 6th grade graduation, I want to say. Literally, they played it there at my 6th grade graduation. So many things have been coming up from the past, and it's like regenerating energy in this time. It's just creating a different ripple effect is what I feel. More positivity needing to circulate. So with that being said, it's the collective heart resonance that creates the shift, was what I wrote down in my notes. We shouldn't have to experience it first in order to help be the change. So with that being said, this is your message. I wish you all the best moving forward and creating this positive energy and change. Take care. So in my previous video, I was speaking about counterparts coming together to create change. And the decks that I have been creating pertain to counterpart connections. Now, in order to come together in your counterpart connection, the healing work has to be done. At the bottom of this deck is the power exchange, but not only is it your counterparts coming together, it's your masculine and feminine counterparts within self coming together in order to create the balance you need for your physical connection to come together with your counterpart. So the healing work has to be done, is what I want to say. Now, this deck is for purchase on my site. However, I am dyslexic, so even if I proofread, it's still going to be some misspelled things. But I also changed the design, but it is available for purchase. The link is in bio to my link tree. But I'm gonna pull some messages from Spirit. This is the Accountability Tarot Oracle that I created because it's about being accountable to yourself and your healing journey, okay? So if you find that you're on twin flame journey, divine counterpart journey, however you want to word that, and the connection's not coming together, you want to ask yourself, okay, what is it I need to do? What is it I need to heal? Ask your guides. Where does 137 is significant because it's 137 on the clock, and that's the number I just saw on the timer. You may be also seeing 110 or 1010, but ask your guides, where does healing need to be done? Okay. counterparts are coming together, being ushered into healing because your light's needed in order to create this change. So let's see what message Spirit has for you at this time. Spirit, show us what message is needed most for divine counterparts needing this message today. So this is a question, and like I said, this is a tarot oracle, but this deck helps you ask yourself the much needed questions, okay? And it says, am I truly ready to heal? Or do I like the attention being unhealthy or unhealed gets me? So this could be a question you need to ask yourself, am I truly ready to heal? Okay. But at the bottom of the deck is the fear factor. This is the death card. Okay. And it speaks about transition. This is about letting old fears die away. Okay. It says you are not stuck, not bound, not chained to negativity and fear. At this time, you are being held back by your own limitations, self-sabotage. You are allowing old negative patterns to creep back in and hold you back. What you may feel is taboo may simply be unaddressed desires riddled with guilt and embarrassment. Allow yourself to be free and do what brings you pleasure with harm to none. And then the affirmation says, I can appreciate, there may be something you're overlooking or underappreciating. It says, I can experience anything that brings me pleasure without harm to another. Okay, so speaking about accountability and healing, it always starts with self. What is it you need to heal in order to move forward in a situation? This will be your divine counterpart connections pertaining to this message. What is it you need to do in order to grow, okay, mature and heal? What's sticking out as I was shuffling here is the Tower, and this is major transformation, upheaval, just sudden and abrupt things changing, okay? It says the abrupt disruption. You may be seeing 16. It says you were caught off guard, stunned and shocked. You never thought it could happen to you. Now is the time to get out of that deer in the headlights phase and face reality. Change is the only constant in life, and sometimes it can come out of left field. However, when something changes abruptly, don't freeze. A wise man once said, it's about how you pivot. This is a chance to change direction and create something new that is more aligned with what you want. You are changing direction, but rebuilding from experience. Okay. And the affirmation says, I am building something greater. So this is about not looking at things being taken away or suddenly changing in a negative way, because it can always be positive. Turn out for the positive. 1010. Okay. Because I just mentioned that. It said it's time to do something new. What's one thing or situation you feel isn't serving you anymore in a way it once did? This is about removing things, and that comes with the Tower energy. So removing things that are no longer serving you. This is, I feel like, specifically pertaining to a situation you may be involved in, but just take it as it resonates. But like I said, link is in bio. If I purchase in my link tree, it'll be the first link. I hope this message was helpful in the way you needed it most and helps you be more accountable to your own actions. Take care.